power of Ultimecia and Shantotto on the same team should not be understated. I'm well aware they have a synergy boost here, but it's still just nuts what the two of them can accomplish together. I mean, just with all of Ultimecia's free turns, she just goes and goes and goes. And Shantotto just shutting them down with those stuns now that she has that LD. I'm really happy with what they did for Shantotto, because I'll be honest, Shantotto was one of those characters that I didn't even really give a second glance for the longest time. I mean, I know she had her problems. She did a lot of damage, but that elemental stuff just kind of locked her out of a lot of fights. And she might experience that later on in the game, but as of right now, she is at the top of the heap. Yes, I know. Again, like I said, synergy with challenge quests and stuff, but I don't know. Even aside from that, I really do feel like if you just put her on a team that complements her, you can't really go wrong. And Ulti is her best friend as far as damage output goes and just taking out fights super quickly. It's pretty crazy what the two of them can do. Now, yeah, I don't have synergy here, but I have no support and no friend. And 27 turns we were able to take this out. I mean, that's got to count for something. Plus, you have all the sap and poison just between the two of them alone. You combine somebody like Charlotta, who I did that before, but I mean, you see it. Just all the, aside from all the damage that you're doing, just all the sap and the poison that happens. That's a mechanic that I think a lot of people take for granted. Like if he had Brave right there, he would have dropped to 0 easily. Especially with Charlotta and that frame sap. It's good stuff. Now my plan here was to just not let them heal and go to the best of my abilities to not let the birds in the next wave get a turn either. I mean, it's going to be the same strategy I did before, where we just kind of rush this down, summon going into the next wave, and then just keep it up. Because I think it was Raz who originally brought this up, because he saw somebody post on one of the Facebook groups that they did this challenge quest with these two, and they carried a 15 CP dash, and they got the challenge quest done. So Raz is like, well, if that could be done, I'm sure this stage could be duo by the two of them. So it made me want to try, and they definitely can. They can do this with ease. I mean, 27 turns, 2 characters, no friend. That's not me trying to brag. That's just to show the power of these characters. I mean, power creep is a very real thing, especially now with LDs and bursts coming at us. But man, it's really something just watching it actually unfold. And it's weird to say Ulti is back, because I don't think Ulti ever really went away. I mean, when she first debuted, everybody knew she was just the best. There was no competing with what Ulti could do. She started to slow down over time, but even then, I mean, people were still using her as far as tier 12. This is pre-LD. I mean, you couldn't rush that stage down like you could with other stages in the past, because like I said, power creep, but she has had one of the longest shelf lives of any character, and now she's back in, okay, I'm not gonna say she's back, I'm gonna say she's back in full force. That LD did a lot for her. And they didn't, see, that's the thing. The LD didn't really give her that much, but she didn't really need that much. She was just such a powerhouse already. All she needed was just a little bit more longevity, and that LD gave it to her. She got all she needed. And this is only the beginning for Miss Ulti. I mean, when she gets that burst, it's going to be crazy. Okay, now here, I should probably talk about what I'm doing. The reason I was just spamming HP attacks, even though my EX is ready, I'm looking at her buff right there. When she has 2 left, that's when you have no choice but to go into the EX. I was trying to just stall it out for as long as possible, so that after we get this burst effect going that increases the brave damage of your whole team. Let's not forget that. Shantotto's burst effect is really good. And you'll see it. Ulti will be hitting harder when this is out of here. The brave hits will be over the 9 cap. So that's another reason I wanted to wait. I'll go into the ulti rotations with Shantotto's burst effect active, so that we just hit harder for longer. See, look at that. 14 instead of 9. Great stuff. I originally only wanted Shantotto's burst because it gave an extra use of the LD. That's an extra stun for all of your enemies at once. That's great stuff. But then I learned that it does this. That increased brave damage. That's awesome. It lifts the cap. Like, I don't know exactly. I'm sure it's increased by a certain percentage. I don't think it's just completely eliminated, but it's great, man. I'm a big fan of it. And now with this, I try to preserve my LDs as much as possible. They're stunned already, so you can just go into the EX. And I'm really looking at when they recover Brave. Because if I can get away with not LDing with Shantotto and still break them back to the point where she gets another turn before they do, I try to not use the LD. Because there's really no need for it. But here, we're going to take full advantage of this burst effect. We're getting the regen on. And we keep the spamming coming. Hell's Judgments. Now with support, she's going to do a lot more, obviously. But to not have any attack auras on this team and to still be putting out this, yes, I know synergy boost, but that's still crazy. That's the power of Shantotto's burst. So many hits with this team. I mean, Ulti's always been like that, with just how many times she attacks. You get launches more often than you would with other characters. Because it's based on, there's like a chase value. It's usually around 40, especially for bosses. And I don't know how to entirely explain it. It's like, the more brave hits you do, the more it decreases the boss's chase HP value, and then they'll be ready to launch. Because some people tend to think that whether a boss is ready to launch or not is random. It isn't. There's a whole unseen system that allows this to happen. So we're at 21, they're almost in the red, and they have not moved. 2 characters, man. So she has 2 turns left on that burst effect. Yeah, see? I could have stunned there, but why bother? I'm well aware, because the EX is up, so just use it. I'm well aware that they're going to come out of break as Ulti is in this last rotation here. So we might as well just take full advantage of that. Okay, now you better stun. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah. I broke him again. If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, because I had these, I just forgot they were there, so we might as well stall them back into brave status. Break them. And Ulti can do this all over again. Shantotto's burst effect just went away, but it was active for basically the whole fight. That's why I went in early, so like I said, so that the whole team could take advantage of that increased brave cap. See, now we're back to 9s, because the burst effect just went away. Yeah, they're done. That easy. These two, man, I'm telling you, they make a great combination. That would have been such a clean victory if I didn't get pixeled right there. But it's not like it matters. Turn count stayed the same. And done. Well, there you go. Dash Chaos Duo. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching.